Hello, and welcome to the Empowerography Podcast. This is a platform created for women's voices to be heard and a place to share their stories, journeys, and successes with the world for the purpose of helping other women who might be on similar journeys. We are empowering women one episode at a time. I'm your host, Brad Walsh, so kick back, grab one of your favorite beverages, and enjoy the stories. If you're looking for jewelry that makes an impact on your self-care routine and your style, Empowerography would love to offer you a discount code to one of our exclusive partners, Quartz and Canary Jewelry and Wellness Company. Please use code EMPOWER15 to receive 15% off upon checkout at www.quartzandcanary.com. Quartz and Canary is truly the place where spirituality meets style. Hello there, Brad Walsh here, your host of the Empowerography Podcast. Today, my guest is Parul Begum. She is an award-winning life, leadership, and confidence coach, the founder and owner of Boost Your Confidence Academy, and an international best-selling author. Welcome, Parul. Thank you so much for making the time. How are you today?
Thank you very much, Brad, giving me the opportunity to come and talk on your show. Yeah, I'm feeling fantastic. How are you doing?
Excellent. I'm doing great. It's wonderful to have you here. Thank you so much for taking and making the time to be here with me today. I'm looking forward to jumping in and learning and sharing more about you and your journey, your story. So let's jump right in. So as mentioned, you are all of the things I already mentioned, as well as you're a keynote speaker, a podcaster, a safeguarding trainer, and last but certainly not least, you're a mother to 2 children. That is one hell of a lot of hats you wear and quite an extensive resume. How on earth do you find all the time for this, Parul? And how important is prioritization and organization to you, and how do you stay on top of things?
Great question, Brad. I did not get here easily. I did get some help. I think the important thing is, with prioritizations and times, keeping is looking at what is your priority. For me, Brad, why I'm doing all this is because of my children,
Right.
and I decided to become a full-time mother when I quit my job 4 years ago. And I did struggle with time setting and timekeeping and organization, but I found my methods. I've got a system. I keep double diary and so I worked on it. And my desire to help others, my top desire is not just to help myself, but share my gifts with others. In order to share my gift with others, definitely I need to be top of on timekeeping and organization. So as I mentioned, I use my system.
Yeah.
Make sure it's work for me. Sometimes system doesn't work, but I'm a multi-skilled person. I do things, constantly make sure I give time to my kids and I give time to myself. I also find, I haven't mentioned, I also do go to gym 3 times.
Oh, wow.
So
3 times a week.
that I keep healthy. I look after myself as well. So definitely organization and timekeeping is really important. Whether you're working, you got business, it's always has to be your top priority. Otherwise, it's hard to achieve things.
Absolutely, for sure. So how long have you been a life, leadership, and confidence coach, Parul?
I qualified as a life and leadership coach over 5 years ago. And then that actually helped me to quit my job, to be honest. Because when I qualified as a life and leadership, I said, that's it. I'm not working for somebody else. I've been working for somebody else, helping so many people, so many organizations, but I need to do something for myself.
And so speaking of that, what were you doing for a living before you jumped into becoming a coach and entrepreneurship?
Thank you for asking the question. I was waiting for that. So I've got a long history, Brad. I started my working life when I was in school, really, helping my dad with his, he was working from home, helping him on that. And then when I finishing school, I started working in a community center as a volunteer, helping young women, really girls, to stay in education because I worked with I'm Asian community. I lived in the heart of Bangladeshi community where girls were married off age of 16. So,
16?
Yes, as soon as they finished school, there was no legislations to prevent the marriage because after 16, they were allowed to. So parents would take them back home of Bangladesh, get them married off to their cousins, relatives to bring the boys here for economic reason. not because of love, it's because of economic reason. And that really hit me. That really irritated me. I've seen girls crying. I've seen domestic violence in the community. I've also seen high divorce rate. So that actually got me into volunteer and community center doing lots of mediation work. I actually won an award in 1999 called Millennium Award to help girls for mediation work, running a lot of sessions between mom and the girls,
Right.
helping them to build their self-confidence so they can speak up for themselves. So my journey of kind of working started there. Then I went on, when I university, I went to work for a national organization where I was part of the safeguarding campaign board for the local authority, which led into, as being part of the campaign group with others, the forced marriage legislation came in after several local authorities and campaign group working. Baroness Scotland actually was part of this. She brought the legislation of forced marriage. So now forced marriage is illegal. Yeah, so that's
Wow.
where kind of like I started, and then I went into managing children and family services, working for two biggest national charities. I work with a whole range of services, forced marriage, FGM. I don't know whether you are hear of FGM, the female genital mutilation
Oh,
happened
yes,
lots of.
yes, yes. Sorry. Yes, I
Yeah,
have. Yeah.
lots of North African community. Yeah, so I actually worked with some of the highest need people, disability, normal communication, children on the street, refugee asylum seeker, you name it. And become a senior manager, and then things changed, Yeah, and then I had high level job to nothing, which I'll tell you a bit later.
You're doing all this work that had to be incredibly gratifying and satisfying that you're able to do this work. So, what inspired your journey into the world of coaching then and leaving that job behind and moving into working for yourself?
So, as I said, when I worked 16 and a half years from student life to kind of like late 30s, really, for this organization. And what I did, Brad, one of the things is because I was managing huge number of staff and volunteers, I was coaching all the time. I
Right.
was helping my staff member to reach their potential in the top level job. I mean, some of my staff went to CEO of a smaller organization. And then when I had my second child, walked into the job after maternity leave, I was given a notice saying, you no longer required, we restructured. That really hit me. I just thought, oh, I gave my life for this job. I went from one contract to multi-million pound budget managing huge two region, and now I've got nothing. So I went through 4 months of being upset, depressed, and I got some help of coaching myself, looking at where I want to go. Then I found myself ending up in a course for property, and I became, within 3 months of losing my job, I became a property investor. But
Okay.
yeah, so that's my journey to entrepreneurship became. However, being working with children and family services, the passion to help people, when I help someone achieve a result, that gave me great satisfaction, Brad.
Yeah.
I went back to the job while investing part-time. I went back to job, but I faced bullying there. I faced bullying in my other job as well. And I just thought, this is not the life I want. Also, I've seen my kids, actually, one was starting nursery, one was going high school. I said, I'm not giving any time to my kids. What am I doing? So I had to go through a self-analysis myself to discover that no, I do not want to work for somebody else. I want to be boss free. I want to have some me time. And I
Yeah.
want to give time to my kids because that's my greatest happiness. Happiness
Yeah.
comes giving to my children, giving to myself. So that's the reason I decided no, within 9 months of qualifying, I'm going to give my job and especially in coaching because I know how to help people and that gives me great satisfaction. So that is the reason I quit my job and I became a life and leadership coach and confidence coach.
Beautiful. And so, with all those experiences of working with young girls and women and all the things you've seen and your personal struggles of being bullied, etc., how have these experiences helped shape the Parul you are today, both personally and professionally, do you think?
Yes, but yeah, there's lots of things happen in my life, and I suppose for me, experience always teach us a lesson. Failure teach us a lesson, struggle teach us a lesson. And I had some bad lesson. I lost my dad when I was in the end of second year of my university. For
Hmm.
me, that was my starting point of going through a life journey. because I had to look after my 4 siblings. 3 were under the age of 8. And
Wow.
my disabled mother who were hearing difficulty. And as you can see from my big voice, I've got a big voice because I have to talk to my mom loudly. uh, so that's why I kind of started my life journey of looking after my mom, my 4 siblings, 1 teenager going through teenagehood things, and 3 under the age of 8. Then I never stopped really. Then seeing what's happening in the community, even myself, Brad, I haven't mentioned. I was nearly forced into marriage.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, imagine yourself, locked in you went to see your grandparents in Bangladesh and locked in your room by an extended family in a dark room between 5 adults and pressurizing you to get married. That's
horrible.
I thought, my feeling was, that's it. I'm not going to be graduating next year. My life is ending. Because they were pressurizing me emotionally so much, like, is your cousin, they need help. When he goes there, he'll be able to provide for his family. There's nothing about me. It's all about them.
The boys, the men.
Yes, it's a high demand that, I am the economy or financial ladder for them to come to the UK and get a job.
That is horrible.
That's it. My life is ending here. I was breathless. I could hear my own heartbeat. I was shaking. I was shivering. And, as a young, university student, what do you expect? I was not, any full grown up adult. I was young adult, just full of dream. That I want to get a job. I want to make sure my brothers are, my dad left me with a responsibility for my brothers and my mom. I want to make sure my brothers done their graduation, get a good job, have a good life. I want to buy a house. I want to move out of the area. So I had a full of dream, buying a new car, a house, and provide for my family that my dad left, responsible for me. And finding yourself, you can't breathe anymore, and your dream coming to an end. And from that point of, thank God I didn't agree. And my grandparents supported me, as well. Because when I said no to my own grandfather, he said, Parul, I respect your decision. Go back. So I came back to the UK, continue with my dream. But few years later, I found myself same position again, Brad. My cousin tried to force me into marriage to this cousin that I refused. She tried to be bossy. So when I found my own husband, she didn't like it. So I had to go ahead without her, with my support of my mom and other family member, and marry the guy I chosen. However, it's been 20 years, Brad. She doesn't talk to me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, still we don't have no communication. I miss my niece and nephews because they kind of grown with me. In my hand. So it's a life lesson. I had to find happiness within me. And I think having my own children now helps. Obviously, still I miss my niece and nephews. But having my own children and looking through, focusing on myself and my family helped me. But that was a big trauma of going through, like my cousin who grew up with me. She's a bit older than me. My dad and my grandparents actually raised her because her mom had too many kids. But then having the experience from her was really, really emotionally draining. Yeah, so those life lessons, and as I say, I've been bullied multiply, bullied at workplace. I just thought, I had a dream, Brad. And my dream is to have best time with my kids. And my dream was to have a best version of myself and achieve all these things. And I suppose my dream helped me to reshape me, who I am now, and all the life challenges. Because life challenges can take us down or put us up. For me, I use those life challenges to take me to the next level, to help all those who are suffering because of life experience or who are going through life experience and they don't know where to go next. So I work with those who are lost at the moment in the mindset of they don't know where to go next.
I love it. That is incredible strength and resilience and courage that you demonstrated. I think it's absolutely incredible and so admirable. Good for you for standing up for yourself, because I can't even imagine how hard that must have been to stand up like that and say, no, you're not marrying me off. I have plans and dreams for myself, and that's what I'm going to do.
Absolutely. Yes. When you've been through it is challenging, but I think when you come out of it, you say, okay, I had to go through the journey to become who I am now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So for you then, what was the biggest or most valuable takeaway or lesson from all of those experiences that you went through with the work you did, with dealing with your family, all of that?
I think for life lesson is life is a journey. It's like there is no straight road in life, and there is no straight road when you drive. All roads goes through bendy. There's
Yeah.
always zigzag, always bendy road, and life is like a bendy road. You have to go through a journey to get to your destination. And I had a dream, I had a focus. Yes, my destination is there, but I need to get there. I mean, I didn't get there my own. With all this, I did get some help with mentors and coach to help me to keep focus and learn some strategies, learn some systems, and
Hmm.
create a good habit so that I can keep focus and I can achieve those dreams. So yes, yeah, it's a lesson, and a life
I
is
love
a
it.
journey.
I want to talk a little bit about your coaching work now. In
Mhm.
your opinion, Parul, what is the most important quality or skill set in a life leadership and confidence coach?
For me, Brad, is helping individual or business owners, helping them to find answer within themselves. The answer they everyone have answer within themselves, but you have to have, as a coach, you have to have the skill set to help them to brush those skill set they have and help them to identify answer within them. So listening, definitely you have to be a good listener,
Yeah.
being
Okay.
patient, being trustworthy, because you have to have that trust to
Hmm.
help somebody. If you don't trust them, if they don't trust them, you can't help somebody. So definitely, is looking the quality within the person and help them to reshape and bring it out.
Beautiful. Now, what is your greatest strength as a coach?
I have a number of skills. I think one is I listen to people.
Okay.
I listen to people. I'm very patient. I'm very trustworthy. People can relate to me and I relate to people. I go into their shoe, understand their issue. Because without me understanding what they're going through, I can't help someone. So I have to go to deeper level, understanding what their issue and where they want to go really. So understanding their mindset and their focus and their dream really, where they want to go. So for me, top skill definitely listening.
Okay.
Listening with an open ear. So I
Yeah.
can understand everything what they're saying, where they want to go.
Now, what type of person or client is your ideal client? Like, what things do you look for in a potential client before you decide to work with them?
I think one of the top thing I look for is they want to change. They want to live a best life and they are eager to go forward to change. Because if they don't want something, I can help them because I can only help them to find answer within themselves, but they're wanting to be changed.
Yeah, I mean, they have to want to put in the work. They have to want to make the changes in their lives and change things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If they don't want to, I mean, I had clients, Brad, that I had to tell them that if they don't do things they promise to do, I can help them.
Well, it's
Because
true.
because if somebody want to change but they don't do the work they need to be done, they can't change.
That's right. That's
And
right.
I can help them if they don't help themselves. So
That's right.
definitely somebody who can help themselves with the support.
What lights you up or inspires you the most about the work that you do?
That's a great question. A lot. I mean, especially in female and teen coaching, for me, I want to have a bigger impact. As I say, I go life purpose, Brad. I want to have a bigger impact, especially for women and teenagers. And when I see someone shine, someone achieve, that give me great satisfaction. And I teach from my own experiences. I know life is not easy, it's challenging, but finding a way to help yourself is the greatest strength. So for me is I want to help and I want someone to receive that so they can help themselves. So bringing kind of like create the life they deserve, and that's what my motto is: help someone to create the life they deserve.
I love it. Now, on the flip side of that, what would you say is one of the most challenging parts about the work that you do?
Being self-employed is not easy.
No.
Because when you work 9 to 5, you guarantee check coming in. So
Yeah.
being self-employed, I think you have to have that resilience that business takes time to grow.
Yes.
And when you have clients who don't want to, we have people who do hard sell. I don't do hard sell. For me is if somebody want my service, they know the value I provide. So sometimes it's negotiation of, oh, I don't have money. Can you do some session? And I did, Brad, 5 years, especially during COVID, the 2 years I provided free service.
Right.
But end of the day, this is a business as well as,
Absolutely. This is how you make a living. You have to survive.
And I think when people want free service, now I had to say no. I always keep two space free, not free to the people who are on benefit as a half price.
Okay.
Because I want to give back to the community.
Yeah.
So I always keep two space free as a half price. And they get 6 to 7 sessions.
Wow, that's very generous.
Giving back, working for charity, too big charity. I still, and my dad's taking away from my dad who always gave. So I want to give back to the community, but I can't give free service anymore. And my strength, I spend thousands learning those skill sets.
Exactly.
And I appreciate when people value my skills. Is an exchange. And one of the things I found, Brad, is when people pay, they listen.
They value it more. They'll put in the work. Exactly. When it's free, they're not going to put in as much effort because they're not paying for it.
No, absolutely. And that's another lesson I had to learn that, not to provide free service, because if I want people to make an impact in their life, they have to pay for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you speak a little bit about the Boost Your Confidence Academy, when you started it? What was the inspiration behind starting the academy?
Yeah,
Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah. So beginning of COVID, I lost my part-time consultancy contract because I walked out of the job before that. And my friends and some of the women's group I belong to, they started referring women who were going through domestic violence. Because domestic violence went roof high during COVID because both husband and wife or partners at home being face-to-face together, obviously, is when 10 times more than what it used to be. And I had all this referral, and I was working free, as I said, and listening to women and trying to help them. And I was a one-stop shop of divorce advice.
Right.
Advice like helping them with divorce, helping them with childcare, money, housing, the whole lot. And I try to find friends where I can refer them for legal advice. I'm not a legal advisor. And after doing 1 year, I got really exhausted. I just thought, I'm doing everything. I'm not a childcare advisor. I'm not a housing advisor. I'm not a legal advisor, but I built people's strength. So I had to rebrand. I got help of a mentor and I rebranded. I thought I need to focus on something. So I add confidence in top of my life and leadership coaching, saying I need to help women to develop self-confidence so they can deal with their issue themselves once they reach their confidence. So then just a year ago, I found, I rebranded and I found myself renaming to Boost Your Confidence Academy. I got my brand work done and I've kind of reshaped it to confidence. So Boost Your Confidence Academy was found last year. And I have developed, with help of my coach and mentors, I developed a framework based on my own journey of 7-step formula to unshakable confidence. So it is a tried and tested formula because it's worked on me and it's worked on all those women I helped during COVID time. Those women wanted help, they got help. Those women still, are finding challenging. I use those formula to help them to find themselves. So I've used the formula. I've written a book called Boost Your Confidence in 7 Days. It's a 7 weeks program. Online, all in Zoom, where I have accountability session. I give them everyday homework. It focuses on the 7-step formula called VISIBLE. It's an acronym where I look at their bigger vision, their big why, their self-care, money mindset, focusing on how they can live a luxury life. And living a luxury life is not all about money. It's having a peace of mind. So I have a 7-step. Each step then have a sub-steps to help them to rediscover themselves, to whether they are businesswomen, whether they are women who just want to change, or, they're going through a challenge, or they've been through life-challenging experience. So I work with some of my women has been, come from bullying and harassment at workplace to domestic violence to abusive relationship, childhood trauma. where people struggle and people still hold on to it. So my steps actually help them to come out of that and focus on present moment, live their future life at present and being themselves, enjoying themselves, and looking at their life purpose, really where they are created and what they want to achieve in this world, remembering that we all have one life and we have
That's
to
right.
live in best version of ourselves. So that's what my 7-step formula in Boost Your Confidence Academy does.
That is powerful and beautiful. You're right. We only have one life. We only get one go around and one shot at this life. So why wouldn't we want to be happy and do everything we can to make it the best life we can possibly live? You're a safeguarding trainer. For those who might not know what that is, can you share with us what a safeguarding trainer is and what the work you do as a safeguarding trainer is?
Yeah. Thank you, Brad. Yes, as I say, I work in children and family services for 20 years between two big organizations. I always have to deal with child protection cases, children or young adults being abused and looking at, how we can support them. So I brought my experience of that 20 years experience, and I specialize in people understanding how to safeguard a child or an adult who might have going through things and somebody abusing them. And abusing doesn't mean just physical and sexual abuse, but other emotional abuse as well. And so I do specialist training like, for example, online and offline grooming, because we've seen with the technology, we have now bigger risk as well as opportunity with the technology. Children are, they're being groomed online.
Yeah.
Adult being, dressing up like a child or
Predators.
teenager,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and dressing up and pretending there, and then children even taking off their clothes online because they are so in love with this person.
Yeah.
Then they give everything of their body. Forced marriages is a specialist training of safeguarding to make sure the children understand. So I do forced marriage training for adult and children. So professional like school teachers, social workers, so they understand what forced marriage is. So as the children that when comes to holiday to go abroad, they understand what it is and how to get help. For children and young adults is understanding how to get help because they don't speak up or they get too scared of their parents or their relative and they don't speak up. We've seen Pakistan still. I mean, if I talk about forced marriage, Brad, in Bangladeshi community, 2019 data in Home Office in UK shows is gone down to 2%. Pakistani community showed 40%. And
oh my gosh.
Early this year, a graduate from here, she was working, went to Pakistan. She was shot dead early this year because she refused to marry someone. And that was
40%, Parul?
It is absolutely. So I do specialist training, this kind of specialist training, helping children, young people to find out how to get help even before they flee, they leave this country, or if they've been taken to India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and other Arabian countries, where to go help.
How are they supposed to get out of that though? If this poor woman was shot dead because she refused to marry into forced marriage, how are these women supposed to get the help? Like, how do they get out of this?
Yeah. I think it's really important for friends, relatives, professionals, school teachers, college teachers, university teachers, and colleagues. Listen to those people who might be displaying anxiety. Oh, my parents taking them back home. I'm not sure that I'm going to be getting married off, or children after high school, understanding their fear. If they start talking about as an adult or as a professional, it's my duty to talk to them, find out what their fear is. And if they fear, it's important to talk to other professionals. Like England have a forced marriage unit. Is actually provided by the government services.
Right.
And there are a lot of organizations working with forced marriage unit to support children, support young adult. Both boys and girls are forced into marriage, but boys is a small number.
Yeah, of course.
But girls is a high number.
I can't believe that is absolutely insane that this forced marriage still exists and these poor girls and women are being pushed into something like this. And
I would say to those young women who just graduated and working, but they still on family pressure, do not give up. Seek help. I recently helped a friend niece. She was already working after graduation, but her dad was forcing her to get married to his second wife brother. Now, it is shocking. So I had to talk to her, say, look, you are an adult. You don't have to listen to your dad. You don't have to listen to anybody. If you want to marry in your choice, find a boy of your choice. You don't have to marry somebody else. The Islam, I mean, people before colluded with forced marriage and arranged marriage. People colluded with Islam, a religion. Like Bangladesh, Pakistan was, oh, Islam said that you listen to your mom and dad. No, Islam does not say you listen to your mom and dad to force into marriage. Islam gives full right to men and women to choose their husband or wife.
But the parents have pushed this indoctrination into their children and made them believe that it's religion that's saying that they have to listen to their mother and father.
Yes, and that's absolutely wrong. Because one of the things they don't realize that they're creating a sin themselves if they believe in a religion. Because of the economic gain. And sometimes parents been pushed by extended family member from back home. There's, give your daughter or give your son to marry my son or my daughter. So they get pressurized as well. But good thing is, Brad, one of the things I've seen, and I'm going to mention this, I've seen quite a lot of Pakistani women. They want to help their girl, but their husband forcing them. So I work with the mother as well, saying, look, you don't have to listen to your husband to force your child into marriage or your son or daughter into marriage.
That is absolutely heartbreaking.
They have their own problem of their own relationship because with their husband.
That is heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking and disgusting that it still goes on in today's day and age.
The other work you mentioned about safeguarding, Brad, is like county line is a hot, I don't know whether you're familiar with the word county line. County line, basically drug gangs, they use young people as a mule. They use young people to carry drugs between different towns with the train services, with the transport system. That's why it's called county line, because they use young people to go one place to another place to sell drugs. Lots of people are unaware of the county line. Even before, it was only children or young people who come from poor family. But during COVID, we've seen even middle-class families, working-class families, their children is being brainwashed or groomed to carry drugs for those drug gangs. So those are the safeguarding specialist training I provide. Sexual abuse, because I've seen working with charities, children and family services, one of the things I've seen is sometimes is hidden. It does not happen in my community. Well, churches in England, I work with Diocese of London, and churches in England is the highest child protection issues. Children are abused in churches.
Oh, yes, that's worldwide.
Muslim community, it doesn't happen in Muslim community. Sometimes Islamic priest could be the abuser. I'm not saying all, but every community, parents, I have my own friend been abused by her dad, sexually abused.
Oh my gosh.
One of the things we need to remember that abusers are abusers. They do not have a religion, they don't have a color, they don't have a creed. No. They're just abusers.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
And we should not be focusing on this doesn't happen in my religion, doesn't happen in my community, happen in every section of the community, whether you black, white, Asian, Muslim, Hindu, Christian,
that's right.
Buddhist, whatever.
Yeah, you're right.
Happen 100%. In every community. Yeah, and that's what I love speaking about, Brad. That we all need to safeguard the vulnerable.
100%. Well, I think it's amazing that you're doing this work. It is much needed, and kudos to you for doing this work.
Thank you.
What do you think your unique skill set or superpower is that's helped you become successful, Parul?
My skill set is I want to help others. Therefore, I need to help myself. I think one of the important things we forget that we need to help ourselves first before we can help others. And you have to have the passion, Brad. Now, I studied accounting and finance. I was good at maths, so I studied accounting and finance because my teacher didn't allow me to become a doctor because I wanted to be a physician. And when I was in Bangladesh, started high school. Moving to UK, because English was my second language, I was not allowed to take GCSE as a science. I was forced into not do other things that help improving my English and maths. I was good at maths. So I became qualified, I did part qualification in accounting. But because I loved working with people, I worked with children and family services. But what I realized is I'm now a human doctor. I mean, not a physician, but mind. I help people to reset their mindset. so they can create the life they deserve. So for me, my biggest skills and my biggest strength is listening to people, helping them to reshape them where they want to go, and being patient and understanding, and and being there, understanding their issue and being there in their shoe, so I can help people. And my biggest desire, because I have a specialist in women, is help women and teenagers, because teenagers is fantastic work with. After a few sessions, they see the light in the other end. And children are, they are our future. And when we can help children, they can run the country. So
That's
for
right.
me is me first. When I help myself, I help others. And that's for me, that's my motto is I want to help all the women of the world.
Beautiful. How do you define success? What does that word mean to you?
Success for me is achieving my dream of living the life that I want to live on. Success does not mean just having money. Success mean is having a peaceful mind, and then focusing on, yes, you need money to live on the lifestyle you want to live on, but having that peace of mind, worry free. So I don't go into bed worrying what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't wake up anxious saying, oh, how I'm going to spend the rest of my day. Success for me is having the quality time with my kids, that I don't have to work during school holiday, that I can go on holiday and not worry about how my business is going to run, not worry about any job that I'm working on. So definitely having a peace of mind and that life, living the life that you want to live on. And that's for me is the success.
Love it. What is one of the best pieces of advice you've ever received?
Wow, I receive a lot of advice. I think so many of them. I'll say that live at present. Live at present moment. Don't worry what happened in the past. Past is gone. We experience the life. So live at present is the best piece of advice that I received.
And very wise. It's true. We only get one life, so you might as well live in the present. There's nothing we can do to change the past. The past has already happened. It's gone. It's behind us. So moving forward, live in the now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Parul, who in your life has had the biggest impact on you and why?
My dad.
Yeah.
I only had my dad 6 years as a full-time dad, because my dad was working in the UK before even he got married. So after he marrying my mom, I was born after 4 years of their marriage, because my mom got married very young age. Now, dad used to come and visit us every few years. So I moved to the UK age of 14. So I only had my full dad as a full-time dad for like 6 years.
Jeez.
That 6 years before he was taking away from me, he wasn't ill or anything, and that's another story to share, Brad, is he was not treated on time, and he lost his life in an intensive care at the end because he didn't get the right treatment on right time. And watching him, the breathing going down on the machine, he was in a life support machine. For me, that's one of the biggest lesson and the biggest emotional lesson that I've gone through. I've seen my dad, how he helped people. He was a spiritual person. I used to see dad, loads of people coming to my dad for support, and he helped selflessly without taking any money. He had a part-time job and he helped all these people, and he always gave to his family, his parents, his brother, his sister. Everybody lived on my dad, and for me and my dad, we were best friends. I didn't have the relation with my mom, but with my dad, we had an open communication. So my dad, he always smiled. I never got told off by my parents. My dad never, if he see that I might be doing something that may not be right, he'll say, Parul, this is the reason. He will always explain to me the reason. Always tell me. I remember one day, some of the neighbors, because I don't wear hijab, and some of the neighbors were saying, oh, how come your daughter going with a man to take her driving lesson and she doesn't wear a hijab? So my dad came and told me, saying, oh, the neighbors talking about you don't wear a headscarf. I said, Dad, I'm your daughter. You want me to wear a headscarf? Why should I wear it? Those ladies who talking about me not wearing headscarf, and they're forcing their daughters go and see the school and the car park. All these daughters, because they want freedom, they're going and meeting boys in the car. Now I
Wow.
don't do that. I respect
Yeah.
myself and I respect you. Since
Yeah.
then, my dad never asked me what the neighbors say or whatever, like, because I explained, and my dad will always explain and say, like, I remember when I come to the UK and my dad took me to the school and he was asking all the teachers, oh, is there boys travel around here? And the teacher saying, no, is outside, that boys doesn't go inside the school and all this. And my dad will always say, don't wear makeup. I don't want you to be exposed to boys. So he has best things in his agenda, and
Yeah.
I kept myself focused. Okay, I'm not going to get a boyfriend or anything until I finish my study. I had an
Right.
agenda of focus on my education, focus on myself, and focus on me, really.
Yeah.
And for me, thus seeing my dad, how he lived his life and being open. And that's what I practice with my kids, Brad, having the open communication,
That's
having
so
the
important.
loving relationship. I
Yeah.
think love is everything. If there is
Absolutely.
more love, we have been more peace in this world, no war.
100%. I agree with you 100%. And we need to start that at home with our children
Yes.
and our family.
Yeah.
Parul, what is one of the most important things you've learned in your life? And what was your life like before you learned it? And what was your life like after learning it?
I think one thing is I did not look after myself, Brad. I gave away everything. I worked in very high paid job. I didn't keep any. Because I saw my dad giving, I started giving away my money.
Wow.
Myself, my time. I worked like a workaholic. Before I had kids, instead of 9 to 5, I did 9 to 9. I gave away everything. Like work is everything. What I didn't realize is like I'm helping somebody to build their business, not my business. And the biggest lesson I've learned is I have to keep my cup full. Because if I don't keep my cup full, how can I pour into somebody else's cup? So, me first before anybody else. Because if I earn enough money, then I can give. If I give before even I earn, then how I'm going to live my life?
Yeah, very true. 100%. What does the word empowerment mean to you?
For me, is empowering yourself or someone else is so they can do things themselves without, and they don't allow things to impact them, whether outside environment, what other people think, what other people say, but
Yeah.
they can be best version of self that they don't allow negativity to take over their mindset, their life. So they are fully empowered to do things that they want to do.
Okay, we're going to jump into a little rapid fire section here. So the next group of questions just be 1, 2, 3 word answer type thing, okay? How would you describe yourself in one word?
Passionate to help others.
Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
What makes you smile?
My children.
What was your dream job as a child?
Physician.
If you could teach the world one thing, what would it be?
Live at present.
What's one thing you want but cannot buy with money?
Happiness.
What is your favorite self-care practice?
Meditation.
And that concludes our rapid fire section. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. Parul, in the last 2 years, what new belief, behavior, or habit has most improved your life?
Belief is I am first. I have to keep my cup full, so always giving myself first.
Yeah.
Behavior is creating a set of practice, daily habit, listening, reading, and gratitude.
Yeah.
Visualization and gratitude. Those are the ones. Yeah, definitely listening to great podcasts like this, Brad. You do fantastic podcasts. Yes,
Thank you.
I learn from others. I always being around great people who achieve more and who uplifts me.
Parul, what aspect of your personality do you think has been the most helpful in your career?
For me is having the positive attitude to help others, because the positivity is really important in our life. So it's hanging around with those positive people who uplift me is most important, because if you hang around with 5 negative people, you could be the 6th person. If you hang around with 5 positive people, you'll be the 6th positive person. We cannot choose our family, but we can choose our friend. We can choose the network. Choose people who uplift you and distance yourself from people who taking you down. So for me, definitely having a positive mindset, positive attitude is really important.
Absolutely. What is something surprising that you've learned about yourself in the past year?
Great question, Brad. I don't realize I can dance. Last few events I went and I was having fun. I was always serious, wanting to do different things, but I can have fun. I can enjoy. I can dance. I think for me, those are the surprising things. Like I kept saying, "Oh, I can't dance, but I can dance."
I love it. That's awesome. I love that. That's amazing. Good for you. If you had the opportunity to sit down and have a 1-hour conversation with one woman, any woman in the world, who would it be and why?
Great question. I've inspired a lot of women. I've heard a lot and read about a lot about Mother Teresa, for example, how she helped others. If she was around, I definitely would have wanted to have a conversation with her.
Parul, if you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that piece of advice be?
Don't be scared to speak up. If you feel someone saying something, someone done something that is not appropriate, is not right, speak up for yourself. Get help when needed. Don't sit down and just think, oh, what they're going to think. So always speak up for yourself.
Beautiful. That is wonderful advice. Lastly, Parul, if you were to deliver your last 30-second speech to the world, like your corner of the world, your tribe, your people, what would that last 30 seconds sound like? What words of wisdom would you impart?
For me, be the best version of yourself. You have only one life. Focus on yourself. Put the oxygen mask on yourself first before you help others. Friends, family, kids is there, but you got to look after yourself. Do not whinge on past. Past is gone. Live at present. Live at your dream life and get help. Get mentor and coach because they are people to help you.
Parul, thank you so much for making and taking the time to be here with me today and sharing a bit about your story and your journey. I think the work you're doing is absolutely incredible. Just keep on shining your bright, beautiful light out into the world and helping all the beautiful souls that you're helping. Thank you for being here today, and I'm honored to have you as a member of the Empowerography community.
Thank you very much, Brad, for this opportunity to share my message with people. Thank you.
It is my pleasure and such an incredibly inspirational conversation. So thank you. Once again, my name is Brad Welsh, host of your Empowerography podcast. Today, my guest has been Parul Begum. She is an award-winning life, leadership, and confidence coach, the founder and owner of Boost Your Confidence Academy, and an international best-selling author. Thank you so much, Parul. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends. You can find me at visuphoria.ca and follow me on Instagram at Empowerography Podcast and on Facebook at Empowerography. Please join me next time for another inspirational story from yet another amazing woman.